welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, you already know it. You are fabulous. All right, so today's video, we're going to be doing some more Christmas DIYs. I'm absolutely loving the Christmas DIYs. I cannot get enough Christmas decor, y'all. Even when I'm not actually doing my own decor, I'm actually like looking through other people's and getting on Pinterest, and it is just the most beautiful time of the year, okay? Let's just put it that way. I think it is gorgeous. So anyways, before we get into that, I want to share something with y'all. As you know, I've redone my craft room, and I've gotten back out there, and I actually, up until this point, have been using my mother-in-law's card table. Whatever, it worked. I mean, that's what I've had, so that's what I used. Anyways, I was contacted by FlexiSpot, and they offered me a electric desk. Okay, why not? Like, of course I'll try out your desk. So they sent me the desk, and what I would like to do is show y'all just how easy it is to put this thing together. I want to show you just how it works. It is the coolest thing. I'm so super proud of it, and I'm just excited to share that with y'all. So let's check that out, and then we'll get right into these DIYs. Okay, so what I'm about to show y'all is the FlexiSpot Electric Hot Adjustable Standing Desk. And this thing is so neat, okay? Like, it is definitely the perfect upgrade for your home office or any workstation. It is so simple to put together. It literally took me maybe 10 minutes. I mean, it comes with all the parts that you need, the screws, the screwdrivers. It comes with everything. There's maybe 5 parts to this desk, and it is just absolutely the coolest thing ever. All right, y'all, so here it is, all together. How cool is this? Oh my gosh, I love it. Now let me show you what it does. So there's a little button over here on the side. Oh my gosh, how cool is this? Check it out. So that way, if I want to stand and do my work, I can stand up. It goes way up, y'all. It just keeps going, okay? All right, once I'm ready to sit back down, just move her right back down, and it's literally the push of a button. I'm using one finger. So simple to use. Obviously, y'all just saw me put it together, and it took me like maybe 20 minutes. I mean, it was so easy to put together also. It had like 5 parts, I don't know. Anyways, I am so super proud of this, and I just wanted to share it with y'all. All right, let's get back into these DIYs. Okay, so one last thing before we get into the DIYs, I just wanted to let y'all know just how easy it is to contact FlexiSpot. So I'll have some links in the description box of this video for FlexiSpot and for this desk. Y'all, they have such great customer service. So definitely check them out. It is FlexiSpot. You can check them out at flexispot.com. All right, so let's get into this first DIY. All right, now I have got these 2 little ornament trees that I got from the Dollar Tree, and then I've got a stencil that I actually got from Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box for these stencils. And then I've got this picture frame that my aunt actually donated to me. Now, I needed to use some of the foam board to be my backing for this picture, and just so happened it was exactly the same width as that picture frame. Are y'all believing that? Like, I literally just laid the back of that picture frame down on that foam board, and I was like, okay, it's literally the same size. So all I had to do was just cut a little strip, just slice that right out with a box cutter or X-Acto knife, whatever. Now I've got the perfect backing for my picture. I'm going to paint this foam board with my ivory colored chalk paint by Waverly. But the only thing about this is you want to use the paint sparingly on the foam board because it has like a paper over the top of it. And if you get that really soaking wet with paint, it will start to bubble and peel. I mean, it just will. So you got to be kind of careful when you're painting the foam board, or just pull off all that paper. But I just used my paint real sparingly. I mean, I got it completely covered, but I just didn't, pile it on. I just used it. I got it really thin, a thin layer of paint. All right, now I'm going to take that stencil and my little foam brush, and I have got my black chalkboard paint that I get from the Dollar General. And I'm just going to fill in my letters. Now, I'm not a professional when it comes to stencils. I actually don't really like stencils because they bleed, and I cannot figure out how to make them not bleed or like, smudge. I just cannot figure it out. Every time I do a stencil like this, I end up with something. So anyways, and I've tried the painting it the base color over your stencil first. I've tried doing the Mod Podge over it first. Y'all, it's just gonna happen, okay? So anyways, but thank goodness when you're doing Farmhouse, it doesn't have to be perfect, y'all. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to take my Arteza paint now, and I have got the green. It is moss green, and I'm just going to go right over my trees. Such a beautiful color. Arteza has got the best paints. I know that I talk about them in every single video, but y'all, I cannot say enough good things about the Arteza paints. They are just fabulous. They are so vibrant and just beautiful. The red in their paints is the most beautiful red paint I've ever seen. All right, so we're going to peel that stencil off. Looks pretty good. I mean, up close, you can see some of the smudges and the, bleeding. So I did take a little tiny paintbrush and kind of try to fix it a little bit. And then the more I tried to fix it, seemed like the worse I was making it. So I was like, you know what? Just quit. It's Farmhouse. It can be a little messed up. Now, I took those trees and the paint that I had used on the stencil for the trees, painted the trees. I'm just going to add a little hot glue. Pop them down right there on the side. Same thing for the other one. This turns out so cute. Now, I did take some sandpaper and kind of go over my wording where I had done the stencil, just to kind of give it that last little bit of distressing that I wanted to do to it. And the sandpaper just didn't really do a lot. I mean, it kind of, it kind of distressed the paint a little bit, but as far as really giving it that distressed look that I wanted, it just didn't do it. So I decided to take my chip brush, and I'm going to take my Waverly's Antique Wax, and yes, I totally just put that on my hand, but anyways, sometimes I do that when there's not something close to wipe it off on. So I'm just going right over this with that Antique Wax, really focusing on the edges, and then I'm just going to go over the entire picture. The whole picture. I'm going to take that wax and go right over the whole picture. Very lightly. As you can see there, I don't have a lot of paint on there at all. All right, now I decided I would distress the frame to this picture also. So I've just got another chip brush and my ivory paint. Look at how well that distresses. Now, as far as distressing, this picture frame won the prize on that because it turns out great. Like, it distressed really, really well. So just went around the entire picture frame. I made sure to remember to get the inside of the picture frame also, because you're going to see that, when you've got it hanging on the wall or whatever. So wanted to make sure once I got all of the outside done that I go on the inside and get that inside little ledge. Just make sure that all of it is actually done, because I almost forgot it, to be honest with you. So once I got this completely distressed, we're going to put it right back together. So I'm just going to pop that foam board down in there, right down in the frame, and there you go. And it is darling. All right, DIY number 2. So this one here is my absolute favorite out of the entire video. I love, love, love these little lanterns. These lanterns were actually given to me in a huge box of supplies that were sent by a very special friend of mine, Miss Donna. They are so stinking cute, y'all, just like they are. But I wanted to beef it up a little bit, okay? So I'm going to take the Scarlet Red paint from Arteza, add it to a little bowl. I'm going to put a little bit of water in with it because I wanted to try to kind of stain these red. Instead of just straight painting them, I wanted to still have some of that, the wood grain to show through. So I just mix that up real well and then start painting it. Adding it right to these little lanterns. And I believe these lanterns actually came from the Dollar Tree to begin with. So if you have seen, I've never seen them in my Dollar Tree, but now every Dollar Tree is different. So if you've seen these before in your Dollar Tree, please let me know in the comments, because I've definitely never seen them in mine, and I love them. I'd have probably bought every one of my saw if I had of, because I think they are just too cute. All right, now after I had stained this with my little paint mixture that I had mixed up, it was still just a little too light. So what I did was, while that was wet, good and wet with that watery stain, I went over it with some just straight paint, right with that red paint. I just got a little on my brush and I would kind of add to it. But it was, you know, the little lantern itself was already good and wet from the stain. So that's exactly the same way that I did the second one. I just got it really good and wet with the stain, and then I'm going to go back in with some paint, the actual paint itself. And that just kind of darkens it up. But at the same time, you're still able to see the wood grain, which is what I was really, you know, looking for. I really wanted to keep that part of this. So just go right over it. These turn out so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, y'all. I can't even hardly stand it. All right, look at them already. Are they not gorgeous? Is that red from Arteza not beautiful? I mean, it's just beautiful to me. And so you can still see the wood grain through there. So this worked out perfect. All right, now I've got these little picks that came from the Dollar General store, $1 a piece. One of them had actually fallen apart on me, so I have to glue it back together. But they are cute just like they are, and they were perfect for this because they were so tiny. So all I'm going to do is just put this one back together, obviously. Just glue that little pine cone right back on there. And then we're going to take them and glue them straight to the top of these lanterns. So we're just going to fix these up just as if they were, you know, regular size lanterns. That's the way I wanted to do this. I think they are so cute, y'all. They would be such cute ornaments. Now, I chose to just sit these out around my house, but they would be darling ornaments if you had enough of them, you know. All right, so I've got this buffalo check ribbon, and I'm going to make a very small, little tiny, it's so cute too, y'all, a little tiny Olivia bow. So all you're going to do is fold your ribbon over on itself. Just keep folding it over and over on itself, making loops. You'll have 3 loops on each side, or 3 little ears, as Miss Olivia would say. She's got some great tutorials also on both. So if this doesn't help you, and it really might not because I'm not that great at explaining it, but you can check out Olivia's Romantic Home, and she's got great tutorials on bows. All right, now I'm going to cut a little slit on each side of this, and you've got to cut a very tiny slit on this because this ribbon is super thin, you know. I mean, obviously the width of it is just small. So super tiny little slit on each side, and that is so that my chenille stem will go right inside that, right inside the slit. I'm just going to twist it up real good, make sure it's really good and tight, and then you're just going to pull out your little ears. You're just fluffing your little loops. And how cute is this little bow, y'all? I love it. I love everything about these lanterns. So darling. Look, oh my goodness, I love it. All right, so once I had that like I wanted it, I'm going to add in the tail, because I did want a little bit of a tail hanging down, you know. I did dovetail my ends. And I'm just going to add that tail with the chenille stem. Just twist it right in there. Super simple. Now, once I get that twisted in as well as I want it, I'm going to snip off the end of that chenille stem so that it's not sticking out, and then just hot glue it directly to the lantern. Too stinking cute. Just hold it in place. Look at it. It's darling. All right, so I did the same exact thing for the other one. I just sped this up because I didn't figure I needed to see it twice, but same exact thing. These turn out just absolutely adorable. Don't forget to let me know in the comments if you've actually seen these in your Dollar Tree. Alrighty, DIY number 3. We are moving right along. This one here is just awesome after it's done. I love this. Okay, so I have got this, well, I don't know what you call it exactly. It's from burlapfabric.com. Let's put that in there, though, for sure. It's going to be a pennant. You know, I think that's actually what you call it. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, so I'm just going to take this actual garland that I had that came from the Dollar General store, and we're just going to take it apart. I just want the letters. Now, I do save the little balls because maybe I thought I could use them, but I end up not using them. But anyways, you might can use those on something else, though. Those are perfect little pom-poms. All right, now I'm just going to take those letters, and as you can see, it spells out the word peace. If I ever get it spelt there. I'm going to peel off. Now, there was like a burlap letter on top of this gold shiny letter. As you can see there, I'm just peeling off the burlap letter. And it's got like felt on the back of it, but the felt was pretty glued on. The burlap seemed to kind of come off a little easier than the felt did. But anyways, so you're just going to peel that off and do the same thing for all the rest of the letters. All right, now that I've got my letters peeled, I'm going to take the gold letters, and we're going to be taking some Waverly's Crimson red chalk paint, and I'm going to go over these letters. Now, y'all know how in love I am with the Arteza red, but I felt like with the glitter that was on this, that the chalk paint would actually cover it a little better, you know. I mean, it might not have. The Arteza might have worked perfect on this, but I just felt like the chalk paint was a little thicker, you know. It was gonna, I felt like it would cover that glitter a little better. So did go with the Waverly's for this, but I just painted these letters inside and out. I mean, every like the outer edge of it, I also painted that because they're obviously going to be hanging up, so you're going to see these from all angles. So I did get these painted. Y'all, I look like I had hurt somebody when I was done. My hand was covered in red paint. All right, now that I've got those done, I'm actually going to add my burlap letters back. And as you can see there, the E, one of the E's just didn't want to come off. So it did kind of mess it up a little bit at the top of it, but no big deal. It's going to be fine. Nobody will ever notice it. And I actually swap it and make it the last E in the word. So that way, you know, maybe you won't notice it as bad. But I just add these back, and we're going to actually hot glue these right down to this. So I just kind of peeled them up and hot glued them. Picked them up, added some hot glue to the back, and put it right down. And you got to not use a whole lot of hot glue because burlap does kind of, the hot glue will show through. Now, same thing with this. We're going to hot glue the back of this bigger letter now that we have them whole, and just add it right to that pennant. This turns out so good, y'all. Oh my gosh. I just love it. I couldn't wait to get it done so I could put it up in my house. Like, I had the perfect spot for it, so I was ready to put it up. All right, so I'm just doing the same thing for all the rest of the letters. I'm going to add the hot glue to the back and just pop them right down on that pennant. And I actually ended up making 2 of these garlands or pennants or whatever you want to call them. I had another one that was actually burlap pennant from burlapfabric.com, and such good quality, y'all. The back of it was like laminated or something. Just very, very great quality. And I tell you what, burlapfabric.com, the lady that I have been dealing with the burlapfabric.com, and that's where that red and white ribbon came from also. That was also sent to me by burlapfabric.com. Y'all, the lady that I've been dealing with, Miss Pearl, she is such a sweetheart. Like, such great quality materials and just really great customer service, I will have to say. So y'all be sure and check them out. I'll have a link in the description box for the burlap fabric. And y'all definitely check them out because totally worth your time. That's all they deal with is fabrics, and they've got such an assortment of different stuff. They've got twine, they've got fabric, they've got rope. I mean, just anything you can think of, they've got. You need to definitely check out their website. Let's just leave it at that. All right, so I cut off some ribbon and decided to tie it in between each letter. I just thought it needed something, just something to really make it pop. And it just added to the farmhouse feel to it. That ribbon that came from burlapfabric.com, it was already kind of tattered, you know, it was supposed to look that way. So it really had that farmhouse feel to it. So I just added it straight to this. I believe it was linen. I believe that the material of this is actually linen. But anyways, so the first one that I did was just kind of trying it out, and it was a little short. So I actually took it off and added in new ribbon on the very first one, the one you see me really struggling with to get off. So I just cut me some more ribbon and added it in there just so it was as long as the rest of them. I didn't really measure. I just eyed it. So awesome. Oh my goodness. I love this. Okay, so I just wanted to throw this one in here real quick for y'all to see. I made this one with the burlap pennant and another garland from the Dollar General store. Is it not cute? Oh my goodness. All right, DIY number 4. So this one, I've got this Merry Christmas ornament that came from the Dollar General for $1. And then I've got these 2 canvases, 11 by 14, that came from Hobby Lobby. My mother-in-law got them on sale or something with a coupon, something like that. But they were super cheap. And then I've got this wrapping paper that came from the Dollar Tree, y'all. It is Hallmark wrapping paper. One thing I will say, it's super, super thin. So you have to be very careful when you're working with it. But anyways, it does do the job. All right, so took that canvas. I'm just going to go right around the outside edge there. We are going to do a reverse canvas is what we're doing. So I'm just going right along the edge of the staples. And you could pull the staples out, but I don't have a staple puller. And these staples were seriously in there. So I really didn't want to have to get out a flathead screwdriver and go through all that. And it's going to be on the back. So I wasn't just totally worried about it. So I just peeled that canvas right off. And then I just pulled off the rest of it, you know, that was still on there. It pulled right off with the part that was stuck to the staples. It came right off. So anyways, now I've got that ornament, and I'm just going to take my ivory color chalk paint and go right over the top of it. I gave it 2 really good coats. Now, I always keep this black stain mixed up, and all it is black chalkboard paint that I get from the Dollar General store and water. I keep it mixed up in this particular bottle all the time because I use black stain a lot. If you're familiar with my channel, you know I love some black stain. So anyways, this particular frame, though, just did not want to take that stain. It was like it had a film or a coating or something over it, and it really did not want to take to that stain. But I kept with it. I just kept adding it, letting it kind of soak, let it kind of do its thing, until it finally was about the color I wanted. Now, I would have liked it to be a little darker, but I just left it like it was and went with it. Now, I'm going to take that wrapping paper, lay it out, and we're going to cut it the width and length of this canvas. So I just laid it right on top of that wrapping paper and just cut around it. No needing to trace it out with a pencil or anything like that. Just cut that mess out and you are good to go. Now, when I went to put the wrapping paper on the canvas, because I wanted to put it on the inside, I realized that the canvas was very bent. You know, it was kind of where that fold was. It was very folded. So I just took my heat gun, warmed this canvas up, and started to smooth it out. I actually took a little like ceramic deal that I keep on my desk, and I would just heat it and smooth and heat it and smooth. And I did this all the way around the canvas, and it worked. I mean, it was like a little makeshift iron. It totally worked. So once again, that heat gun, y'all, I'm telling you, it is so handy to have in your stash, your crafting stash. And they are literally like 10 bucks on Amazon. So there's always a link in my description box for that particular heat gun. And it is like $10 on Amazon. And y'all check that out, because not only can you dry your paint with it, you can make an iron out of it, obviously. I mean, just whatever, you know, take off stickers. You never know what you're going to need that heat gun for. But anyway, so like I said, I just went all the way around the edges of this canvas and got it good and smoothed out. Then we're going to take some hot glue and go along the outside edge and just hot glue this wrapping paper down. I decided just to hot glue it. I was afraid if I tried to do the Mod Podge and all that I would end up with a hot mess. So I figured the hot glue was the way to go here. So I just hot glued right around the edge of that canvas and laid that wrapping paper straight down to it. Super simple. It makes the perfect background. I mean, I love it. It makes literally the perfect background. I actually saw a thing on Pinterest that was kind of like this, which is where I got the idea for it. But it was like a door sign. It was like a round wooden door sign. But anyways, okay, so back to what we're doing now. I'm going to take that frame, now that it's dry, add some hot glue all the way around this dude. And then we're going to go straight in with our canvas that has the wrapping paper on it. Obviously, you're going to go face down with that wrapping paper. And I just put it right over the top of it because we're going to cut off those edges. No need to trace it out or do any of that. We're just going to take an X-Acto knife. I put my cutting mats down. I get those cutting mats at the Dollar Tree. And I just cut it with an X-Acto knife. So simple, y'all. This was so super easy to do. And it really turns out cute. It's on my wall right now, matter of fact. I have it in my living room because I liked it. So I'm just going to cut those out all along the edge there. Very easy. That canvas cuts super, super easy. All right, now that I've got it cut out, we're going to take the Merry Christmas and hot glue it directly onto the paper. Now, this Merry Christmas thing was kind of hollow. So I did add quite a bit of hot glue on the bigger parts that you can see there. I did add, you know, a little bit of extra hot glue just to kind of make it raise up a little bit. And then I just added it, you know, everywhere else that I could find a spot to add the hot glue. Pop that dude down. I did go up a little bit. It's a little further up than in the center, you know, because I'm going to actually put some greenery around the bottom. Now, for the greenery, what we're going to be using are the garland ties from the Dollar General for $1. And then also these picks that I found at the Dollar General store. Gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. Dollar General's killing it this year with Christmas. I've said that 100 times. I'll say it again. Dollar General is rocking the Christmas stuff. All right, so I've got a couple different kinds of twine here. That's from burlapfabric.com. I have got more of that ribbon that came from burlapfabric.com. Look how pretty that ribbon is. Gorgeous. And it's linen ribbon. So how cool is that? Okay, now I'm going to take the pick, pull it completely apart, and I'm just going to crisscross it. We're literally making like a messy swag. That's what I'm going to call it, because I just crisscrossed it, took a Chanel stem, wrapped it around the middle, and there's my greenery. Now, for the ribbon, I'm just going to cut out a bunch of strips of the different colors, just as you see there. Now, the red I did cut right down the middle just to make it go further. But I cut out a bunch of strips. Then I took some of the red twine, take that ribbon, just crisscross it. Lay it out, just crisscross it. No particular pattern, no particular order, just crisscross your ribbon. Tie it right in the middle, and now you've got a messy bow. And it goes perfectly with this messy swag that we made. I love it. I think it turned out too stinking cute. Love it. All right, so what we're going to do is hot glue this straight down onto the picture. So I'm just going to take my hot glue, add it right where my Chanel stem is, and glue it. Now, when I first glued it, I glued it a little too far down. I actually glued it to the frame the first time I glued it. And when I went to sit it up, it just didn't sit right. So I actually took it back off and glued it directly to the paper right underneath the word Merry Christmas. Fluffed my bow back out, kind of played with it just a little bit. And we're done. This is so stinking cute and so easy to make, y'all. Such an easy DIY. Love it. All right, DIY number 5. We are moving right along. Okay, so I've got this apron that came from the Dollar General store. It was $1. Can you believe that? And then I've got this tote bag that came from burlapfabric.com. Look at how good quality it is. Very sturdy. Even the handles on it are good quality. Because a lot of times those tote bags, the handles to me just don't seem to be sewn on very well. So anyways, this thing is good. Now, I took that apron and I'm just going to peel off the little truck that was on it. I can't believe this was $1. Like, it's cute like it is. I mean, the apron's not much pumpkin, but it's still cute. It's cute that you could like hang it up in your house, in your kitchen or something. But anyways, so I just peeled that truck off. Now you got to be careful when you're peeling it off because it is hot glued on. And as you're peeling, or it might be tacky glue, I don't know. But whatever kind of glue it is, it's, you know, it wants to kind of pull part of that backing with it. So you just got to be careful not to rip the actual truck. So I just would push down on the apron and pull at the truck at the same time. This is so simple, I don't even know that I would call it a DIY. So anyways, I'm just going to take this little truck, add me some hot glue all the way around it. Just making sure that I get it pretty good. We want this to stay on. Add some to my little tree. And then I'm just going to flip this dude over and pop it right down on that tote bag. Now, how cute is that? And like to take your stuff to your grandma's, you know, for Christmas Day, like take your food in or presents or whatever. You can carry anything in this little bag for Christmas. Like, I think it is so cute. I will definitely be using it on Christmas Day when I go somewhere. But for now, I've just got blankets in it. But anyway, so there's lots of different ideas. Now, I just made a little bow, simple little bow, shoestring bow, out of some ribbon that I got at the Dollar General store. I wanted to add some of the little like baker's twine or whatever to that ribbon just to kind of jazz it up a little bit, but I didn't want to go too much with it because I didn't want to take away from the truck, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Snip that off there so it would be even, and I'm just going to hot glue this right down. Now, I did dovetail my ends. And I'm just going to hot glue it right to the handle there. You can see that one little piece of material there. I'm just going to put a little dab of hot glue and add in my little bow. And it's so stinking cute. I love this little tote. I cannot wait to use this on Christmas. Okay, DIY number 6 and our final DIY. And I don't even know that I'd call this a DIY. This is just a little hack, but I wanted to share this with y'all. So I've got these bags that I got from the Dollar General. I've also got some pillows that were extras. They were from the spring. I have got some ribbon that I'm going to make a huge big bow. Now, I took those bags and stuffed them with the pillows, okay? So that the bag looks like it's totally full, maybe of presents or whatever. But stuffed them with the pillows. I think it was like 3 pillows per bag, and it's huge. The bags are huge, okay? So anyways, they stand up real big. And it's perfect hack, okay, for like before you start putting your Christmas presents under your trees. This is perfect. So I'm going to take all this ribbon and create an Olivia bow, big, huge bow, big fluffy bow, just like I showed y'all a couple other times in this video. But if you need a better tutorial of the Olivia bow, definitely go to Olivia's Romantic Home. She's got some great tutorials on how to make some pretty bows. Now, I'm just going to create this bow, pop it on top of this bag, and y'all, check this out. How stinking cute. Oh my gosh, is this not darling under the tree? That is it for today. I hope that you have enjoyed these DIYs. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. Leave some comments and definitely subscribe, okay? All right. Y'all have a blessed day.